Hello, Lego fans. Are you tired of another Advent calendar opening day? I always get a little bored with that myself, so I thought maybe I'd share some of the things I've done with my Hogwarts castle sets. I've done quite a few extensive changes to all the sets, but I'll start with the Great Tower today and we'll follow up with some of the other ones. Everything I think with the Hogwarts sets is a series of compromises. The sets are obviously done for monetary purposes by Lego, so they have to make it where it's financially feasible to do things. Where I didn't want to cut those corners, so I made some changes. One of the biggest cons I thought of the Great Hall set was missing that fourth wall. This looks like a standalone building to me, and it really does need to be enclosed. So I made a fourth wall, and I also thought it looked a little squat, so I raised it up a little bit. I added a fourth level to the tower, and I raised the Great Hall itself by 3 bricks, adding another window below. So the original bottom of the set was right here. I added that window and another row of bricks underneath that, raising it up, making the proportions look a little bit better. Everything is a series of compromises. If you wanted to make a movie accurate set, you could do something like Brick Wizard 59. He did a wonderful job on his, but it would be so big and tall that it would overpower the rest of my sets, and it would be out of proportion. It would make everything else look dwarfed by that comparison, by that set there. So in order to do that, I decided to compromise. I only raised it by three bricks. And then, let's see, we did some minor changes, like we added this up here. I think that's where Dumbledore's office originally is in the movie, but I don't know what you want to call those guys, but you have to have that on the tower. And then again, I added a fourth level here and another brick underneath to make it a little bit taller. I rounded off the towers on top. This one in the center just looked a little awkward the way it was. So I made it round, and I think it looks a lot better that way. And I also put a different cone on top to make it so that this didn't end up having to be square. I've seen a number of different ways people have closed this in, and I've seen it on hinges, but when it was hinged, the roof was still there and you couldn't get inside. You couldn't see it. It was still too dark and enclosed. So I chose to make it the roof and the wall be all one unit so that the whole kit and caboodle comes off like that and you can get inside. I didn't do much else inside other than maybe add a couple more flags and a lot more food. And I threw Nick in there. On the tower, just simply remove the one very tip top there, and it swings open. Brick Sanchez did a wonderful job on his, but again, it was awfully large. But he had where this top opened up both ways, and it was just beautiful. But again, compromise. It's just a little bit too big. So I decided to make Gryffindor Tower over here, made Gryffindor dormitories rather over here, and the common room down there. Put in the couch, some stickers, the Quidditch cup there, nice big squishy armchair, and some 4 posters to represent Gryffindor there. I have Ravenclaw and Hufflepuff and other parts of the castle I'll show you in another video. I have Professor McGonagall down there playing with some transfiguration. That is Doug. I don't know. Doug. And there's Professor Dumbledore and Dobby with the Sorcerer's Stone. I was able to put in a lot more windows in the tower to where before there was only one. I have 2. And then I also have them on the sides as well. So that brought in a whole bunch more light, and it looks pretty good when it's closed up like that. Other than that, those are all the changes. Oh, I know another thing I can mention. When I lifted this up by 3 bricks, the only way to do it with keeping the floor at the same level and not having to expand higher and higher, I had to lift the top half. So that left this area here very big and blank. So I decided to put some shields there. They're not necessarily Hogwarts, but again, I don't really care about keeping everything perfectly movie accurate. I just want it to look nice. So I occupy that space with some shields and the Hogwarts crest to make that a little bit more filled in, because it was just too big, flat, and blank. And same with the other side. On this side of the Great Hall, there was nothing here. It would just be big, fat, blank nothing. So I added another arch there, and that kind of occupied it. Now it looks like it was architecturally planned that way. I hope you like it. Leave any comments below if you have any other suggestions. On the next video, we'll go over what I've done to, believe it or not, that's the Whomping Willow set. And major changes to the astronomy tower. And I like to decorate the outside to make it more realistic and lived in. Clock towers, not much difference there. But then again, this is another clock tower set right here. And we'll go over explaining what it is and why I did it in another video. Thanks a lot. See you on the next one.